Jeffree, you're killing it. I mean, killing it in a good way and killing it in a bad way. Business is obviously exploding. People can't get your products fast enough. That's a problem we all wish we had, and congratulations to you for building a business that is pushing the limits of an e-commerce platform like Shopify. On the flip side, that demand is absolutely killing your e-commerce site on these launch days. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to evaluate your other options. So, Jeffree, if you're watching, pull yourself up a chair and let's talk about it. Before all the Shopify fanboys that find this video start giving me grief about hating on Shopify, think again. It's not what I'm doing here. It's a fine platform, but it's obviously struggling with these launch days. That's not really me being critical. That's a fact. And for all the Shopify fanboys, there are also going to be Shopify haters that's just going to come at you and tell you if you were on whatever platform they favor that you wouldn't have these issues. Now, that may or may not be the case, and we'll get into that in just a bit. I wanted to start this video by talking about why you should not change your e-commerce platform. First, the issues, on the surface at least, don't seem to be costing you sales. You're selling out of products. You can't really do better than that. Also, in a weird way, all of the drama and issues surrounding these launches may actually be building the hype a little bit. You've made progress on Shopify. The previous launch shut it down completely, but you learned and you adjusted. Queuing orders like you did is a much better solution than an unresponsive site. I'm assuming you also learned some things from this launch as well that you can carry forward into that next one to continue your progress. No one out there spewing advice on the internet, myself included, really knows what you're up against. We don't have your numbers and understand how many simultaneous users are actually on your site. Without that data, it's tough to really know if any of the other solutions on the market could do any better than Shopify's doing. If you do decide to move to a new platform, then you take some of those learnings with you, but it really adds more variables and potential risk to your next product launch. Now that I've done a good job of talking you out of considering other e-commerce platforms, let me explain why you should consider switching. What is it doing to your brand reputation when your most loyal of fans show up to support you with all of this enthusiasm and then has issues ordering? Now, you've got incredible support and a loyal fan base that'll support you through pretty much anything. But for those more fringe fans, each incident is just a little less likely that this person will participate in the next launch, not to mention the damage it does to your brand by having thousands of people voicing their frustration on social media. This also has to be a support nightmare if those customers are actually reaching out for help. I don't think you could possibly have a support staff large enough to deal with that influx of complaints. It'd completely bog a support system down, or you really just have to shut off support completely and let that fire burn. You want your resources shipping orders, not dealing with an e-commerce emergency. And then there's the big question, the question of what if? What are the possibilities if your e-commerce just worked during these peaks? How could you better capitalize on this traffic spike? Could you produce more and still sell out, or could you cross-sell more products to increase their average order value? You're building a brand and you're really just getting started. So what if it gets bigger? If you think there's a ton of opportunities still out there, then it's in your best interest to at least explore all of your options. Maybe they're right for you, maybe they aren't. Maybe you find one and change e-commerce platforms. Maybe you don't. Regardless of the decision that's made, it's in your best interest to at least explore the options. If you decide that you do indeed want to see what else is out there, I'd be happy to help. Honestly, as someone who's an e-commerceaholic, just getting a clear understanding of the scale you're actually dealing with would be intriguing enough for me to completely volunteer my time to help you evaluate your options. I work with two platforms in particular, and those are BigCommerce and Magento. It's in your best interest to consider both and see which, if any, is the better fit. One of our hosting partners, Mage Mojo, actually hosts one of your authorized retailers on the open source version of Magento, and they were able to keep that site online and working smoothly despite the rush. Now, I'm sure it wasn't anywhere near the traffic you actually saw on your direct-to-consumer site, but it'd be fun to sit down, compare metrics, and see what the difference was and if their solution might work for you as well. So, Jeffree, it's a tough call, but one that right now only you know the circumstances of. If your goal is just to continue taking learnings from each launch and iteratively making your launches a little bit smoother, then continuing down that Shopify path may be the best route. However, if your goals are a lot bigger, then I'd seriously suggest you evaluate all of your options and decide the best path going forward. But hey, I'm not always right, whether you're a Shopify fanboy or a Shopify hater. Let me know your thoughts in the comments of this video. Do not let my opinion be the only one that's heard. I'm assuming this may pull a slightly different audience that I'm used to, so if you're new around here and you're looking to take your e-commerce skills to the next level, then consider hitting that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.